Hi, hello fellow investor. This is Ken Renner, real estate expert in the North Austin area and guest host on HGTV's #1 show, House Hunters. Hey, just want to go ahead and talk about the D.R. Horton opportunity, which D.R. Horton's largest builder in the United States, largest builder in Austin. And we have a long-standing relationship with them. I've been selling their houses for 25 years and owned several of them myself. I've owned a bunch over the years and I've always made money on it. I've never lost on a D.R. Horton home. So when they announced that they were opening up most of the subdivisions to investors, it was pretty exciting. They have the best land holdings and the best position in the city for the most part, as far as new construction is concerned. So we're going to take a little bit of a further deep dive to see how close we can get to the Apple campus and the domain. That's where everybody seems to want to gravitate to as our investors looking for being able to capitalize on the billion-dollar facilities that are being built in the area. So let me show you where that is. This map is a little glitchy, so I might have to stop the video to reboot and get back into the site. So forgive me if that happens. But anyways, we'll talk about as we dive into where the Apple facility is and where the domain is. See, glitched out. So I will just put you on hold and we'll come right back. Okay, so back again here. The Apple facility is located right here, right where McNeil and Palmer come together, right next to this word McNeil. That's in Northwest Austin. The domain is located right here where the word North Burnett says, this little triangle right here. That is the domain, which is the home of Amazon, Facebook, Indeed, and HomeAway. And then we're looking to the rest of the cities down south here in Austin. This is the north part of downtown Metro. So taking a look at what D.R. Horton has to offer in the range that's close within really any of these subdivisions are within 20 to 25 minutes of the domain and the Apple campuses. And so taking a look, starting at the far north, which is Liberty Park, and it's a let's see, they actually don't have Liberty Park. Oh yeah, there we go. There's Liberty Park. It's located at 29 and Highway 183. It'll be about 25 minutes to the Apple campus. And they have some opportunities in there that are in the low 220s. And so that's something that we would definitely consider. I have a list here from the builder that just the inventory changes all the time, so we always have to be in constant contact with the building. And I've got a kind of a back line to the management to be able to get in and find out what's available. So so Liberty Park is starting in the 220s. Good possibility. Wildleaf is brand new, and I've got a flyer on that. And I'll show you that here. That's a brand new subdivision right off the 183A, really close to the train station too. So there's a commuter metro train that goes all the way to downtown Austin from Leander's, which is where we're at here, is in Leander. That's a good area, starting in the 240s. And then we have Larkspur, also really nice, starting in the 220s. This is one that they have not opened up to investors. I do like it. It's got several different builders in there, and they are it's a master plan community. And if you can get something starting in the 220s in this very popular Leander Northwest Tech Corridor, that would be definitely good. Lively Ranch over here, starting a little higher price point. The homes, and this is in Georgetown, but with the better schools, which is considered the Liberty Hills School District, is much higher rated than the Georgetown School District, even though Georgetown still has pretty good schools too. They start in the 230s as well, and I've got their sheet on that. We'll go over that here in a second on what's available. Moving back out, Gerald, this is an opportunity in Gerald. Now that's not really really close to the Apple campus, but the price point starting in the 180s. So good price point. It's really just a suburb. There's no real infrastructure out there. It's kind of on I-35 on the way out of town. going up to Temple and Waco. Coming back in, we do like these two subdivisions in this area here is called Saddle Creek. We start in the 220s. Tax rate's a little high at 2.8, but I wouldn't shy away from it. And then we have Fairhaven, starting in the two teens, and there's opportunities in there in the mid 220s. And there's also, we've done well with slightly larger homes in this area, with the price point being more on the 250 range, and we're getting about $1,800 to $1,900 a month rent. So we're bullish about that. West Haven's pretty much closed out. All right, so going back on Georgetown, love Georgetown. Actually want to move there myself. We go on date nights up to Georgetown, and I think that's a really good area. Hutto, this is Meager Meadows, which is actually a great location because of the infrastructure that's being built right next to this facility. This right here in this area here is going to be an $800 million convention center called gosh, what is it? Perfect Game. And what it is a whole bunch of baseball fields and conference center. They're a recruiting business for Major League Baseball players. So as your kids getting older and they're really shining, they go to Perfect Game, and then they can showcase their efforts. That particular facility is going to have a 13,000 seat arena. It's going to have a hotel, a convention center, and of course, right down the road is the exciting Kalahari. Right on the other side of the I-35, 130, right in here is Kalahari, which is a $400 million convention center and facility in Round Rock. So Round Rock's going to be becoming a destination resort, and that's where I live right now, is in Round Rock. And I've been here for 25 years. South of that is Riverwalk, sold out. Further out to the east is in the little town of Taylor is Avery Glen. I haven't been out here. Prices are starting under 200. I think it's definitely something that we should look at because of what's going on, but it is a different city, and it's 14 miles from Taylor to Round Rock. So to get under 200,000, it should be definitely something we should look at. Sorrento, they're pretty high in their price point, 261s. And their tax rate's really high, so that's not one that we like. Stonewater, starting in the low 200s. It's in Manor, and it's okay, but it also has a very high tax rate, which really kind of knocks the wind out of our investment strategy. Taking a look at Fort Dessaw, and this is Fort Dessaw Townhomes. And Fort Dessaw Townhomes start in the price point that we like, and I definitely would buy one or sell it, but their HOA dues are $290 a month. It covers a lot, but it's not going to make for a good cash flow. So once again, we're not bullish on that. This is Cantera, and Cantera is definitely one of the ones that I would have on the list. They start in the 240s, and these are single-family homes. The Samsung $4 billion Samsung campus is right here. And it's literally 12 miles to downtown Austin. Also very commutable to the Apple facility as well. Cantera, they come in and come out as far as whether they'll sell to investors or not. So that's a discussion we can have. This area here, Pioneer East, I've done so well with Pioneer Crossing, but their price point's now almost 300,000 starting out, and we were selling homes. I've bought several homes in there myself. 10 years ago, of course, in the 170s, and now we're $100,000 more, and so that will probably not be a good cash flow play, or even break even. Well, most of these will break even at 25% down. Pioneer Hill, if you can get in there, go for it, because Pioneer is the most popular D.R. Horton subdivision. They can't build them fast enough. They cut off investors all the time. I think they're actually open to investors right now. We like Pioneer Hill. I've done very well. My investors have done very well on there, but they severely limited the investors. In fact, they cut us off for almost 2 years. Great subdivision, great location, close into town, and starting in the 230s. So I think that's definitely, if you can get in there, you'll have no problem getting at least at top dollar. Okay. See if I can get it to go back. It doesn't want to go back, so So let me go ahead and put this on hold for LA. All right. Okay, back again here. So once again, Pioneer Healthy, that's the closest, one of the closest ones to downtown. And I think that it's just been super popular. And they do have patio homes starting in the 230s. This is Parker Station. This is out east Austin near Decker Lake, right next to the Travis County Expo Center. Though it's at a higher price point between starting in 250s, 260s, 270s, I really like this one because it's so close to downtown, as you can see. Austin's right here, and it is the closest to downtown with a brand new construction in this price point. If you can keep that on our radar, I definitely think that Parker Station would be a good place to to invest in. Nice homes, a little more contemporary, more South Austin kind of flavor as far as the way they've got them looking, and we've got a little more, like I said, a little more contemporary look to it than your typical Texas home. So good opportunity there. So let's go ahead and go back out. Tiarmo, starting low 200s, good location. It is also, though, it's kind of a little more of a rough area, and especially like the schools aren't all that good. And but starting in the low twos, they rarely open up to investors, but there's possibilities of that. Once again, we have to check on that. Also, Austin's Colony starting in the low 200s as well. Austin's Colony has been around for a long time. It's kind of a little bit, once again, not the greatest area. If just it's kind of a little needs some gentrification around the area. So I'm okay with Austin's Colony, low tax rate, which is good, and good location to downtown. But I don't know if I want my kids going to school there. Reserve at McKinney Falls is pretty much a closeout community, and that'll be on our sheet here. South Park Meadows is also closed out, and also will be higher in our price point than we want to be. Kyle Creekside Village is starting low 200s. I think that's almost sold out. South Austin's really just pretty much getting sold out, and that's nowhere near the Apple campus, or it's still a commuters commute into Austin. So going back, take a look at the higher view. You can see this is kind of how they've got this all planned out, and all kind of circling the whole Austin area. So let's kind of go take a look at what they sent me over the weekend, which is the Labor Day specials. And so I kind of circled a few that I think are really good. This one here in Creekside Village, 1863 square feet for $242,000. I think they could rent for about $1,750 to $1,850. So that's definitely worth taking a look at. I've also targeted some other smaller houses. This one in Saddle Creek, 232.9. That's a Yosemite. That's in Georgetown. I like that one at the price point. I also already have a proven property in Fairhaven here, which is the Denali, 1,845 square feet. We're getting about $1 a square foot for this one, and so those numbers work pretty good. About $1,850 for rent for that 247 price. So those numbers work pretty good. You can see this one, like Larkspur, no investor sales allowed at all. Reserve McKinney Falls, southeast Austin, very popular area, close 12 minutes to downtown, but nothing really in an investor price point. Same with Pioneer East, Pioneer Crossing East. Sorrento has an incredibly high tax rate. Fort Dessaw has the super high HOA fee, so we kind of skip over those. Liberty Park, these three are really good in the 220s, 230s for 13 to 1,500 square foot. Kind of see what the inventory sheets that they send us. That changes every day. Every day they sell. One community I was in yesterday sold 20 houses this last month. So, you know, and in these areas, they really do go quick. A little bit higher tax rate, a little bit higher dues, but long run, Saddle Creek's going to be good. Fort Dessau, once again, we talked about them being a high tax rate. Anyways, this is the kind of stuff that we have to do on a daily basis, is to constantly, when we have an investor interested in, we have to call management and call the on-site agents and make sure it's still available. So some good opportunities there, and I could get more specific with you when you give me a call. We can talk about the more specifics of particular properties. But so my number is 512-423-5626. Let's have a talk. You can also look at my, we can set up an appointment with my calendar feature, so we can definitely get communicating on what we can do with the D.R. Horton homes. Once again, they're very popular, and also by far the most homes sold in Austin by any builder. All right, so anyways, that's my my video for you. Give me a call. We'll talk about specifics, 512-423-5626, and we'll get investing. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.